Hey guys, and welcome to my video. Today I thought I'd share with you my labor and delivery story. So when I had my son, it was May 11th, 2017, but I went into labor on May 10th, 2017. When it first started, we were at home laying in bed and we were watching the hockey game, and I thought I was just having Braxton Hicks contractions, but they started to get pretty regular and longer and more intense, so we started to track them on my phone. And at first they were only about every 10 minutes and lasting like 20 seconds each, but then as it progressed they started to get really intense, and they were about every 2 to 3 minutes and lasting about a minute each. And that's when we thought we better go into the hospital, because we live like 45 minutes away from the hospital and I did not want to have this baby in the car. So on the way to the hospital, we were in the car and we'd hit so many bumps, and I literally thought that we were dying because it hurt so bad. And I just wanted to get to the hospital because I was nervous and excited, and I just wanted to get it going. Once we got to the hospital, we had to go through the emergency entrance because the main entrance was closed because it was about 9:30 at night. And when we got into the emergency, there was a line, and they would not let me skip ahead. They were like determined to get in before me, even though I was having a baby. And we finally got to the front. I got triaged, and they wheeled me up to the labor and delivery ward. Once we got up to the labor and delivery ward, they took me into a room and they made me put a gown on. And then they checked me, and I was only 3 centimeters dilated. The day before, I had an appointment with my OB and I was 2 centimeters, so I thought it was okay progression for one day, but they didn't really think so. So they wanted me to stay in the room and wait it out and see if I'm actually in real labor or false labor. So they told me to stay in the room, walk around, try to contract more, and I was not having it. I was in so much pain, I was screaming, and I just wanted to get into a room and have this damn baby, but they did not believe me. They didn't think I was in labor until Caitlin came in, which was the nurse who helped me through my labor, and she took me over to my actual delivery room. So once we got into the delivery room, I sat down and she asked me if I wanted an epidural, and I said yes please. Even though at first I planned that I wasn't going to get it, I was going to try my best, but it was honestly so painful, and you'll learn why later. But we had to wait for the anesthesiologist because he was in a C-section, so he couldn't come right away to give me the epidural. So in the meantime, they checked me again, and I was 5 centimeters dilated, and this all happened within about an hour span. I went from 3 to 5. So they were kind of hopeful that this was a good thing, and they started me on Pitocin, which I didn't really know why because I was progressing well, but she told me that the reason why is because they usually do it with everyone just to make sure that your labor progresses like good and it doesn't just stop. So I got the Pitocin, and they put the baby monitors and the contraction monitor on my belly to make sure that little Emery was okay. A little bit later, the anesthesiologist came in and gave me the epidural. I had no pain. I didn't feel any of the epidural going in, and it was good. I was happy. I wasn't feeling anything. And then they put the catheter in, which I didn't like. It was a lot of pressure and painful, and it shouldn't happen to any human. It should not go in there, especially men. I feel really bad for you. After that, Robin and I were just kind of relaxing, waiting for the baby to come. And then I started to get really, really bad pressure down there and pain, and the pain came back. My epidural wore off. I asked for another one. They gave me another dose, but it didn't help at all. So there was no epidural for me. I was doing this on my own, and I was ready. I thought I was ready. I was ready. I think I was ready. After I informed them that I had this pressure, they checked me again, and I was about a 7 to 8 centimeters dilated. And this was about 2 hours after the last time, so which was good. They were happy. They informed my OB that I was progressing really well and everything was good. I was still in pain, but I was working through it. Robin was a really great help for me. He really helped me through it. I would not have been able to do it without him.
The baby is coming, literally as we speak. She is in the labors.
Yeah.
She's having lots of fun. Yeah.
This is fun. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet you.
Is a contraction coming? Is it another one?
About an hour later, at around 2:30 in the morning, I'd say, I felt intense pressure. I thought that I was crowning already, and I asked the nurse to look, and there was my bag of water sitting there, not popped. Robin said it was big, it was bulging, and the pressure was so bad, it literally felt like I was crowning. And what happened was I delivered my bag of water. It didn't pop. It just decided to come out and say hello to the world. After that happened, they called my OB and informed her that she needs to come because I was 10 centimeters, my bag was there, and needed to be popped, but the nurses couldn't do it, which I was very pissed off about, by the way, because I wanted them to pop it. I was very upset. I needed it popped. It hurt very bad. I love nurses, but it hurt, and I wanted it gone. So once my OB came, she popped my bag of water with like this kind of crochet hook, and it was literally the best feeling in the world. The pressure was gone, and then like a few seconds later, she's like, Emery, well, we didn't know his name then, but the baby is right there. You need to get ready. We're gonna push. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. The OB was laying everything down and getting ready for me to push. And I was ready. I was so ready to meet my son or daughter. I didn't know at the time because we left it a surprise. Once the OB had everything laid down, she told me to put my legs up and push them back. And I started to push. And I only pushed about 3 or 4 times. It took me 8 minutes. And then we met our baby boy. And the funniest thing ever was we didn't know what it was. And I swear somebody said it's a girl. And I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, it's a girl. And then they told me, no, Summer, it's a boy. And I was like, oh my god, it's a boy. I was just so excited. And they laid him on my chest. And it was the most amazing feeling in the world. And I loved it so much. And then they took him over, they weighed him, they made sure everything was good. And Robin held him. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then leave a thumbs up and comment down below what else you'd like to see